2024 was the worst and the best year of my life because I made a decision that completely disrupted the stability of my family and my life in general. However, in the long term, it turned out to be a really good decision. However, I'm not gonna lie, it was hard. I spent a lot of hours in the bathtub crying, contemplating, asking, questioning, doubting, pulling my hair. But at the end, I made a decision and I jumped, kinda. And because it was a very big decision, and I'm not gonna lie, it really was like jumping from a very tall building, kind of like into nothingness. However, when I decided to jump, it really was like I was on the edge of a very tall building and I was like this, falling backwards. And at that moment, when I decided to jump, I had no fear. And I was just reflecting on how did I get to that mindset and what I've done throughout this year that really helped me. And I'm hoping to share it with you, and then hopefully it would help you the same way that it helped me. So I have 8 things to share with you guys, and at the end, if you want to know, I would let you know what was the decision that I made. So the very first thing, guys, is to know that you are the most important thing. Okay, so you have to take care of yourself first if you want to take care of others, right? That's why on the airplane, it always tells you like put on the oxygen mask for yourself and then help even your kids. Help yourself first, because if you are not right, if we are not right, there's no way that we can fully be present and be the best version of ourselves that we can be for other people. So we are the most special, important things in our lives, and then you have to put yourself first. Okay, so as I said, I took a drastic decision, and my husband, bless his heart, he was like, are you sure? But he has always supported me most of the time, just like I support him, even when he has really crazy ideas. My son actually was the most difficult. He was very upset, and actually he was the one that was making me question my decision the most. But at the end, I still had to stick and then be true to myself and say like, this is what I need, because I was mentally and physically exhausted, and I just needed to choose myself. I needed to take care of myself first. And once I did that, this was like magic. And as I said, in the long term, it turned out to be so good. So number 1, take care of yourself. Number 2 is create silence. You have to create silence for yourself. So get off the phone. Now, as I'm saying this, please don't get off right now. I'm just saying, there is great information online, right, on your phone or your computer, wherever you choose. However, there has to be you have to schedule it. You have to put a time limit to it. There has to be a moment where you pause and then you give yourself time to kind of process what it is that you are listening to, right? And with that being said, you also have to be very careful of what you allow to go into your brain. Okay, so if you are, I'll give you an example. Have a family member that complains that his social media platform is all about sexy girls and this and that. So I was telling him like, you can use it for business. And this is an older family member, okay? And so then he complained about that. I'm like, well, but you know why the algorithm is showing you that, because that's what you are searching for. That's what you're clicking on. That's what you're liking. So be aware of what is it that you are feeding your brain, okay? If you have kids, if you know anything about kids, you don't just give them whatever. There's some cartoons that you don't let them watch. There's some books, there's some shows that you don't let them watch because one, it's either not age appropriate or it's just crap. So you take care of yourself as well. Take care of what goes into your head. So there's no problem using the phone, right, to watch content. Just be mindful of what is it that you allow, what information you allow, to get into your brain. So for me, what I do, I go on silent walks. So when I go for a walk, I have a dog, so I have to take him out for walks, and I just force myself. I don't even negotiate. I used to listen to audiobooks, and I'm thinking, oh, it's books, and it's something good. I'm learning something. But I stopped it. I really did, and it just created a silent space for me, for my brain to connect with source, connect with myself, just the time for me to think. I also do meditation. And I do different kinds of meditation. I do sitting down meditation. I do guided meditation. I do laying down meditation. I do meditation before I go to sleep. Now, I don't do all of them in one day. Some days I do maybe a couple. Some days I do 0, right? But I do try to do at least one thing, right? And if you feel like, oh, I don't have time for that, yes, I understand. I have the same feeling. Try this. If you wash dishes, okay? Don't turn on a podcast, don't turn on music, don't turn anything on. Just be right there with your dish and the water and the soapy feeling, and just be there, be aware, because that's all meditation is. Not all, but that's the main thing of just being aware of who you are, where you are, what it is. And so that's just a very simple way where you can add some sort of spiritual practice to your day. When we create, for me, when I create these moments of silence, when I'm very intentional about creating these moments of silence, or this pocket of silence throughout the day, I just give my brain time to be creative and to kind of like reset. And it's just so wonderful, like not to have constant input. And once you do it, you will feel and you will see the difference. Okay, so try it, and please, I would love to hear your comments. Once you start doing this, did you notice the change? Please share with us, and you can also encourage and inspire others. I couldn't think of the word. Okay, number three is trust. And you cannot have trust, or we cannot have trust without spiritual practice. Now, I'm not going to tell you which spiritual practice to do. That's another video. Maybe I'll do a video on that. But you have to do some sort of spiritual practice. So as I said already, creating some pockets of silence, that's what starts, okay? Being very mindful about what you watch and what you what you put into your head, that's another one. And you can choose spiritual practices or spiritual teachings as the things that you let in. Anyways, now I want to clarify something about trust. Because it's not about trusting that there is an outside force that is going to catch you or that's going to solve all your problems. When I mean trust, is that I trust that God or universe or source, however you want to call it, made me so perfect that I got it. I can do whatever life throws at me, I can deal with it. And also trust that whatever life throws at me is what I need at that moment, whether it's good or bad. And if you're very advanced into spiritual practice, then you will get to the point where you'll say oh, nothing's good or bad, it just is. But it's very difficult. It's easy to say, but man, go practice it. It's hard. But I have enough trust and confidence in me that I know my potential is infinite, and I just have to apply and try it. And if it doesn't work, I have to either keep trying or try a different way. Okay, now I want to show you something, guys. As I was writing this, and I did not plan it, it really gave me chills when I wrote it. So this is my YouTube notebook. I started working on this. Oh my God, if I show you the first page here, I think it's 2021 or 2022. Okay, 22. When I started even looking into YouTube. But look, I want to show you. I know it's backwards, but it says, confidence in yourself is the first step on the road to success. I mean, guys, this is what I mean about trust, okay? You have to trust yourself. You have to have confidence. If you don't have confidence in yourself, you cannot expect other people to have confidence in you. And I'm telling you, for me, the way that I built that muscle, that trust, was through my spiritual practice. So find a spiritual practice that works for you, okay? And work the heck out of it, okay? And I'm telling you, it works, okay? Okay, number four. Number four is stop wasting time. Okay, it doesn't matter how old you are, but if you're older, like me, please, we all have dreams that we had since we were even little kids or teenagers or in our young adulthood. Make a list of your dreams. Probably we cannot achieve them all, and then some of them might be really far-fetched, but there's some that are definitely achievable, okay? So make a list, see which one can I start working on this year or right now? What's that? And now you cannot say, I'm just gonna use a random example. I want to be skinnier, or I want to be richer, or I want to be rich. I hope that you already know that that is just so broad, and you're never going to get anywhere with that kind of like dream or goals, right? So you have to be very specific. I think most of us must have heard of SMART goals, right? Very, very specific. Give it a timeline. What's my first step? What am I going to do? In 1 month, I'm going to do this. In 3 months, I'm going to do this. In 6 months, 1 year. Okay, you have to, okay? If we are not chasing a dream, I just, like, what's the point of life, right? Like, if you just wake up, eat, work, go to sleep, like, we have to have a dream, okay? So I would say, chase your dream, chase, and then like it would be really cool if you like if we choose like something very crazy, right, but achievable, okay? So because you also don't want to like set yourself for failure, right? But the longer you wait, the harder it's going to get. So I would say do it now. Okay, number 5, and this one is very, very important, guys. It's get your relationship with money straightened out. Okay, you need to get your relationship with money right. Okay, I'm gonna say something that is gonna sound really, really harsh, and it is harsh. Okay, but if you're poor, okay, or you're just not at that in a financial situation where like that you don't want to be, you're not in the financial situation that you want to be in, whose fault is it? You cannot blame anybody else, or we cannot blame anybody else by ourselves. Okay. I know that sounds harsh because it's like it's always somebody else's fault, but I'm telling you, once you start spiritual practice, you will see like, yeah, you know what, that is kind of my fault, that is kind of my thing, right? So this is why spiritual practice is so important, because it really helps you take responsibility, and once you take responsibility, then you can do something about it. Because if it's always somebody else's fault, like you feel like you have no control over it. But once you make that decision, once you make that realization, then you can start fixing it. You can start working towards it. And what's going on with my hair? I'll have to put it to the side because the microphone is here, but it feels really weird because I usually have it this side. Anyways, okay. Now, how do you get your relationship with money straight? You have to study. You have to change your mindset, okay? I also come from, I want to say also because many of us come from the family that says money doesn't grow on tree, you have to work hard, people that is rich is evil, money only brings more problems, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, my mom is the best, but like for that thing, I'm like, oh, Mom, I block her. I had a very, very, really good opportunity to talk with my nephew not long ago, and he said something like this. He says, something, I really need money. And knowing what I know now, I immediately changed. In my head, I changed it, and I didn't say it out loud, I just said it in my head. I said, oh yes, I really like money as well, I really like money too. And then some days later we were talking, and I pointed it out to him, and I said, when you said that, actually I told myself, oh yes, I really do like money as well. And he told me like, wow, I never even thought about it that way, I never had that perspective before. And he actually thanked me, but I really waited for the right moment to it was like it just kind of came naturally. I waited for the right moment to talk to him about it. And once you do that, once you get your relationship right with money, you will see how things changes. What I did, I studied from Dance. I feel like I'm gonna kill her name. Sincero, Tony Robbins, Dean Graziosi. I know I'm killing their names, so sorry. Oh my God, I can't think, but like Think and Grow Rich, The Science of Getting Rich, like these books are a must. If you're not feeling these authors, then just go find somebody that resonates with you. But for me, these were the books that really made an impact. And I have to tell you, like I read The Science of Getting Rich in 2015. I was pregnant with my son, and I didn't touch it for a long time because I was kind of busy being pregnant and dealing with a newborn baby. But the theory, really, the philosophy really stuck with me, and it has helped me tremendously. And also about money, because we all need money, right? Because we live in a world that runs on money. And I think if you have to get money, and if you can't, see if there's a way that you can earn your money, earn your income doing something that you like or doing something that you love, right? If you have a job, most people are not very happy with their jobs. If you are one of them, more power to you, right? But if you're not, most people kind of like, I'm in this job because this is what I have to do to make money, and this is what the only thing I could do, or this is what I study, and then therefore I should do this, right? I studied something completely different of what I'm doing now. Well, I studied again. Actually, I went back to school and then studied, and then, okay, long story. But I want to tell you, if there is something that you really want to do, and you can possibly make a business out of it, try it. Just give it a try, okay? Especially if you already have a job that is giving you the income, there's always time. You say like, oh, I don't have time, there is time. If you like break down your schedule, your day, there is time. I'm going to tell you, if a 12-year-old can start a business of walking dogs or babysitting, I'm telling you, we can do it too, okay? So I feel like nothing will give us more freedom than doing something that we love, right? Because we're not being forced to do it. Like, we want to do it. I'll give you an example. Right now, my husband and my son are traveling around China. They're visiting all these beautiful places. At night, they send me videos and pictures, and I'm like, oh, that's awesome. But I chose to come back home earlier and make these videos because they're not only for you, but these videos are for myself as well. And I'm loving it. I'm really, really happy to do this. So, with that being said, guys, it will mean the world to me if you can like and subscribe to this channel if you have gotten if you feel like there's any value for you. If you don't find it any valuable, don't worry about it. Just go to the next thing. Find somebody that you like. All right, let's go to number 6. This is how we do 6 in China. Okay, this one is also very important, and it helped me a lot. It has helped me a lot too, and that is to improve the relationship with your family. And I mean, obviously, if you're married, with your partner and your kids, but like one step beyond that, being in China, I don't know if it's because of being in China, I've just been in China for so long, I guess, like this is when the realization came that family is just so freaking important. And a strong family, it's so important. And the older you get, I guess maybe when we're younger, we don't realize it because we feel like, oh, we don't really see or can feel how our parents or even grandparents might feel, right? Because we can't really fathom like, oh, what does it mean to wake up and you have aches here and there? What does it mean to not be like at 110% energy all the time? But number one, right, our older people, our elders are not going to be there forever, right? And even younger people, right? Like, things happen, right? But I feel like reaching out to the younger members of our family is also very good. I feel like many of us just feel like, oh, we are the elders, like they should reach out to us, right? Like, why do we need to reach out to them? But I think it is very important, and I have started to make an effort to reach out to my younger family members. So that's being like nephews and nieces, and by the hard way, I learned that I really just need to ask about their day and listen. And I know it's very hard because we all want to kind of like, we all have so much experience to share, right? So you always want to like tell them what they're doing is right or wrong, or how to do it, or we judge, right? So one very important thing that I learned is like, with your younger family members, just listen, or just like spend time with them. Like, you don't need to judge or anything, just spending time. For my grandma, or like my mother-in-law, I have a schedule on my phone, like on Fridays at 6 p.m. we call her, right? And it's very easy to forget because most of the time we don't even know what day of the week is. So I get the alarm, it's like, oh, it's time to call Nanai, which is grandma. And then we do it, right? If sometimes we cannot do it, we don't do it, but it's in the schedule. And then if we are, physically able to do it, then you just do it. It's very important, guys. Improving connection with your family is very important. Okay, number 7, read books. Okay, I prepared some of my favorite books here. Okay. Now, there is a lot of great information online, right? YouTube is amazing. Providing amazing information and providing access to people that we didn't even know about, or we didn't have access to them. So for that, thank you, YouTube, for providing access to all those wonderful people and that wonderful information. However, when you read, your brain just reacts differently, right? It just acts different. For one, there is the sensory engagement, right? Like, so when you touch a book, right? You touch it, you feel it, you are looking at the words, you have to decode the letters, right? It's just different what you have to do. And also, there's like you have to work, right? There's a mental effort there. So versus the videos where the video is just feeding you information and it doesn't give you time to process, to think, right? And usually you just go from video to video, you go to the next thing. Also, there's the fact that when you read, it kind of has like different pathways in your brain, right? Because when you read, it uses multiple areas in your brain. So you have the language processing, you have the visual processing, right? You have to visual, you have to decode the words, and also you have feelings, right? Like when you are reading a book, like this is my second book of this one. This is not my original copy. My first copy, I gave it to a very good friend of mine in 2009. And that copy, it was like, first of all, this one is like you see, like I take it places with me, but the other one was even worse. And inside it was like completely like highlighted, and I had like little notes on the side and everything, because you like, the book, it gives you time. You can pause it, you can stop, you can reflect on what you just read, and then you can either write. Then it gives you the chance to have your own ideas as well, right? So reading books, it's very, very, very muy importante. Okay, 8 and final one, guys. And this one, I know I've been saying that this one's very, very, very important, but this one, it really is important. Number 8, and that is walk the talk. Okay, it means if you say that you're going to do it, you have to do it, okay? If you read something, guys, you have to implement it. You have to do it. It cannot stay on the paper, and it cannot stay on the video. You have to implement it in your life. You know, even this video, guys, come on. I'm telling you, everything that I did, I have done everything that I said on this video. I have done it, okay? And I'll tell you from the beginning, it's not easy, okay? But it works. And it got me through a very, very crappy moment in my life. And then it was rainbow afterwards, okay? And then I'm sure that it can help you if you follow it. So you have to, take notes, sit down, it's like, what am I going to do, right? Like, if all the 8 things are very difficult to do, pick one, okay? But pick one, and then number 8, because you have to walk the talk, okay? You have to do it. For me, I had like something that really helped me is that I have my son, and I really want to be a role model for him. So, especially like with spirituality, I'm like, meditation. Gosh, that sign is really, it's right in my eye. Meditation and patience, and like not reacting to things and all that like I have to really put it into practice, because especially in front of my kid, I cannot say, this is good, we should be like this, and then I'm not doing it. So he was a huge help. He's actually my biggest teacher in this life. So anyways, okay, so these are the things, guys, that have helped me throughout this year, and I hope they can help you as well. Okay, if you have stayed this long, thank you so much. I will share with you what was that big decision that I made, which I told you, it really truly was letting myself fall from a very tall building. What I did was I had a very good job in education, and I had a very good salary and very good benefits, and I didn't have to pay for my apartment. I didn't have to pay for utilities. I didn't have to pay very minimal payment for food, because I would have my son's lunch taken care at school, dental, medical insurance, travel allowances. Like, I even had like fitness allowance, like health and fitness allowances, and I could buy like anything athletic clothes or a gym membership, or even like facials and spas. Like, it will all be like, I had a very nice allowance for it. It was nice. It was very nice. So it was in an international private school, so it was quite expensive. It's the equal of in the United States, it's about $30,000 a year, and that was all taken care of. And we have like excellent education and benefits. But I was physically and emotionally exhausted, and I didn't have any time to like do the things that I love. I love teaching. I am an educator by heart. I wouldn't say like by profession. It is my profession, but by heart, anyways, I quit. And it was so freaking scary, because at that time my husband didn't have, because we had already been like so used to and comfortable to that job, to that lifestyle. Like, my husband didn't have to, and he was like more like helping me, supporting me at home, because but it was a decision that I took when it was decided like whether I was going to continue or not. And it was like very, very tough 2 weeks where I had to like give them a decision. And I cried so much because it's like I really wanted to do it like from inside, but everything outside was like, are you crazy? Like, how are you gonna live, like let go of this amazing job? And also, like, you know, it gave me status, and it gave my son status as well. This is why he was very upset that I wasn't going to be an educator at the school anymore. And anyways, long story short, I stopped. I decided to stop. I didn't have, and I also decided that I didn't, it wasn't just because of the school. It was just the type of work, and that I wanted to do something different. And so I remember very clearly, you know, it was May when or April, May, when I let them know. And the whole time, it was like this, up and down, up and down, up and down. It's like, okay, happy, something's great is going to happen, like, you know, something's great is going to happen. And then there will be days when I was like, holy crap, what did I do? Like, what am I gonna do? But most of the time I had kind of an excitement, like everything is going to be okay, right? Even though now we have to figure out the rent, utilities, tuition, food, even transportation, because I had a transportation allowance. Man, it was a good job for the benefits. But before I stopped working, God God and my trust attracted what I needed to keep going for a whole nother year. It can happen to you too, I promise you. Trust yourself. I love you guys. Bye. Number 4, stop wasting time. Okay, it doesn't matter how old you are.